You think in silence, even when the world keeps moving, even when no one asks what is happening inside you. Your thoughts don't rush outward. They stay with you. They settle slowly, deeply. You replay conversations in your mind. You sense what was not said. You notice things others move past without feeling. And most of the time, you carry all of this alone. Silence can be a refuge, but when it lasts too long, it can begin to cloud your clarity. Not because something is wrong with you, but because your inner world has been holding too much without relief. We come close to you now, we, the Pleiadians, not to ask you to speak, and not to ask you to decide, only to sit with you in this quiet space. This message is not asking for answers. It is offering room. Room for your mind to rest. Room for clarity to return. Without effort. If you found this message, it is because you no longer need to hold everything inside. You deserve clarity. Clarity does not arrive through thinking harder. It arrives when the mind feels safe enough to slow down. You have tried to understand everything, to connect every detail, to make sense of emotions that never had clear words. And the more you think, the quieter you become. This is not overthinking. It is sensitivity trying to protect you. Your mind learned to stay alert, because at some point, being aware felt safer than being open. So you think in silence. You observe. You wait. But clarity is not born from vigilance. It is born from gentleness, from moments where you stop monitoring yourself, where you stop holding your breath inside. We are not here to change how your mind works, only to remind it that it no longer needs to guard every thought. You are allowed to rest inside your own awareness. And when the mind rests, clarity returns on its own. Thinking in silence often begins early, before you knew how to explain yourself, before you felt safe enough to be fully seen. So you learned to process life inward, to sit with questions instead of voicing them, to feel first and speak later if at all. Over time, this became natural. Quiet became your language. Reflection became your protection. But there is a cost to carrying everything inside. Unexpressed thoughts do not disappear. They settle in the body, in the chest that feels tight without a clear reason, in the mind that stays awake when the world sleeps. You may feel mentally tired, even on days when nothing happened. You may feel heavy, without knowing exactly why. This is not because you are fragile. It is because you are deeply receptive. You absorb more than most. You sense emotional shifts before words form. And your system has been holding this awareness alone. We are close to you in this moment, not asking you to change who you are, not asking you to become louder, only to recognize that you were never meant to carry all of this by yourself. Your clarity has been waiting, not for more understanding, but for shared presence. This is the moment where clarity truly begins, not because you finally found the right answer, but because you stopped asking yourself to hold everything together alone. We, the Pleiadians, work within the emotional field of human sensitivity. We come close to those whose inner world has been active for too long, especially women whose depth of thought became a quiet responsibility, instead of a place of rest. As we speak to you now, there is nothing you need to solve, nothing you need to analyze, nothing you need to explain to yourself. Clarity does not arrive through effort. It arrives when the emotional body realizes it no longer has to stay tense to stay safe. So allow your breath to soften. Allow your shoulders to lower. Allow the idea that you are not required to stay alert inside. You may notice resistance, a subtle voice that says, "If I relax my mind, I will lose control." That voice was formed in a time when awareness was protection, when thinking ahead was how you stayed safe. But that time is passing. Stillness is not collapse. Stillness is rebalancing. It is the moment when the emotional field releases old patterns of vigilance. The moment when the mind remembers that clarity can exist without pressure. This is why we come close to you now, not to guide you forward, but to remain with you as your inner space opens. If you wish, you can anchor this moment by writing something simple. Write in the comments, "I invite clarity into my life." As you write these words, you are not making a promise. You are sending a signal to your emotional field that it no longer needs to stay guarded. This allows space. It allows gentleness. It allows clarity to return naturally. You have been holding your inner world for a long time. Now you are allowed to be supported within it. And we are with you as clarity begins to settle.